From Novak Djokovic sobbing like a baby after his 10th Australian Open title, to Serena Williams calling the chair umpire a thief, here are some of the most dramatic moments in tennis. Let's start with the best match we saw by the Youngblood recently, the US Open quarterfinals between Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. It was a perfect storm. Two of the most talented young stars in the sport battling it out for a chance to make it to the major semifinals. With so much at stake, it was clear from the beginning that this match would be one for the history books. The crowd at Arthur Ashe was on the edge of their seats as Alcaraz and Sinner went toe-to-toe. Both players were determined to come out on top. It was a match that had everything: incredible shots, nail-biting suspense, and an intensity that never let up. As the hours ticked by and the clock crept closer to 3 a.m., the crowd remained glued to their seats, watching in awe as the two young stars pushed each other to their limits. Every point was hard-fought, and every shot was executed with precision and skill. And then, after an astounding 5 hours and 15 minutes of play, a winner finally emerged. Alcaraz, exhausted but elated, had triumphed over Sinner in a 5-set thriller. The crowd erupted in applause, giving both players a standing ovation for their incredible performance. And while this was a great match due to the gameplay, sometimes it's the attitude of the players that makes a moment ever so dramatic. I mean, I think all of you remember how Nick got one of the biggest fines in the 2019 Cincinnati Masters. Nick Kyrgios, the Australian tennis player, found himself in some major trouble with the ATP after his second-round loss to Karen Khachanov in Cincinnati. He was slapped with a whopping $113,000 fine. And let me tell you, tennis viewers thought he definitely deserved it. Kyrgios had a bit of a meltdown on the court, and his behavior was far from sportsmanlike. First off, he got into a heated argument with the chair umpire, Fergus Murphy, and let's just say things got ugly. The Aussie hurled insults at Murphy, calling him the worst referee ever, and it only got worse from there. After the match, Kyrgios referred to Murphy as a tool, and even went so far as to spit in the general direction of the chair instead of shaking his hand. But that's not all. At one point during the match, Kyrgios stormed off the court with two brand new rackets in hand. Then, he returned to the court with two shattered rackets, which was quite a sight to see. All in all, it was a pretty wild and dramatic ride. Kyrgios definitely let his emotions get the best of it. Also, while we're on the subject of drama, how can anyone forget the Serena Williams versus Naomi Osaka US Open final? This match had everything: drama, controversy, and an up-and-coming star in Osaka. It all started when Williams got a warning from the chair umpire for receiving coaching from the sidelines. Williams was furious and demanded an apology, but things only escalated from there. She received a point penalty for smashing her racket and then a game penalty for calling the umpire a thief. Let's just say things were getting pretty heated. In the midst of all the drama, Osaka was playing some incredible tennis. The 20-year-old rising star from Japan was holding her own against the legendary Williams, and it was clear that she was a force to be reckoned with. Despite the controversy, Osaka managed to stay focused and eventually took the title, winning 6-2, 6-4. But the real drama came during the trophy presentation when the crowd booed while Osaka cried, and Williams tearfully spoke out against the way she felt she had been treated by the umpire. It was a match that will go down in history for its drama. And then, just like this match, there's also another recent memory that has been ingrained in our minds. It's Roger Federer's retirement. The tennis world was rocked by the news of Federer's retirement. It was a shock to all of us. I mean, this guy's a legend. He's won 20 Grand Slam titles, and he's been a force to be reckoned with on the court for over 2 decades. And let's not forget the drama. Federer was known for his grace and poise on the court, but even he couldn't hold back the tears as he announced his retirement. I mean, this is a guy who's faced some of the toughest opponents in the world and come out victorious. But even he couldn't hold back the emotions. And he wasn't alone in his tears either. Rafael Nadal, Federer's longtime rival and friend, was also seen crying at the news. It was a moment that brought the tennis world together as we all mourned the loss of one of the greatest players of all time. Anyway, we simply can't talk about the GOATs of the sport and not mention Novak Djokovic. I mean, did you see how he was sobbing after his 10th Australian Open title win? The man was a mess, and it was all happy tears. Now, we all know Djokovic is no stranger to Grand Slam titles. He's won 9 of them before, but this 10th one was something special. And boy, did he let the waterworks flow. After beating Stefanos Tsitsipas in an epic 3-set battle, Djokovic ran straight to his box to share the moment with his team. But as the realization of what he had achieved sank in, the tears started flowing. His coach and other members of his team tried to console him, but the emotions were just too much. Now, what made this win so dramatic was the journey that led up to it. Just 13 months prior, Djokovic had been barred from entering Australia due to his vaccination status. He was deported and handed a 3-year visa ban, which sparked a lot of criticism on social media. But after a long and hard-fought battle, he managed to get his ban overturned and arrived in Australia more determined than ever. So, there you have it, a win for the ages and a super dramatic moment that will go down in tennis history. Congrats, Djokovic! So, we've got Roger's retirement and Noel's big win, and now, time for the final member of the Big Three, Rafael Nadal and his tie-breaking dramatic moment. The tennis world just witnessed an absolute masterpiece from Rafael Nadal at the Australian Open recently. It was a nail-biting match that lasted for almost 5.5 hours, and the Spaniard was down 2-3 against the Russian powerhouse Daniil Medvedev in the 3rd set, with his serve about to break at love 40. But did Nadal let that get to him? Absolutely not! With his unwavering determination and sheer grit, he managed to claw his way back and beat Medvedev 2-6, 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, and 7-5, clinching his 21st major title in the most epic way possible. Not only did he break the 3-way tie between him, Djokovic, and Federer for the most majors won by a man, but he also became only the 2nd man in the Open era to win every slam at least twice. That's right, folks, Nadal is an absolute legend of the game, and he proved it once again with this incredible win. What's even more impressive is that Nadal missed the second half of the 2021 season due to an incurable chronic foot injury and COVID-19. But did that stop him from coming back and showing the world what he's made of? Nope, not even a little bit. So let's all give it up for Rafael Nadal, the king of the court, the master of the majors, and the ultimate legend of the game. Anyway, that's all I had for you on one of the most dramatic moments in tennis.